Due to the worsening economic downturn in Nigeria, most vulnerable Nigerians have started to patronize loan sharks even more. And according to the Federal Competition, the FCCPC, that is the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, about 250 authorized digital lenders are in the picture, but there are even many more who are unauthorized that are, taking Nigerians for granted and, basically loan sharks. But my guest, who is a financial expert, is now with me, Sarah Amana. Thank you for joining us on Business Daily today.
You're welcome. Good morning.
Okay, you've heard the statistics that I called, at the beginning. We have authorized money lenders. Unfortunately, there are the unauthorized ones who, unfortunately, again, seem to have, surpassed the authorized ones. So let's just talk about just give us a brief overview of what you regard loan sharks to be.
Okay, so thank you. Yeah. So loan sharks are basically, like you said, unauthorized. They're usually unauthorized and they charge high interest. Their interest rates are usually to the extortion of vulnerable people, especially those in desperate financial situations. So that's just like an overview. They're usually unauthorized. Their targets are usually vulnerable people in bad financial situations. So those are just that's just like an overview of what a loan shark is or who a loan shark is. And they use every measure at their disposal to make sure they get their monies back. They use every measure. They are not concerned about your reputation. They're not concerned about your family. They're not concerned about your well-being. All they want to do is get their monies back. And when you begin the whole process of getting the loan, it's very easy. You just get it easily, and then they don't usually tell you what is involved. Very unclear loan terms. Unlike when you have legitimate, when you want to get money and then it's legitimate, they clearly tell you the terms and conditions of the loan. But for this, they don't tell you what you're getting yourself into. So that's just a brief overview of what loan sharks do or what they are.
Okay, and from what you've said, from the side of the borrower, it's easier to tell because they are vulnerable. But then how are we able to spot these loan sharks? Are there characteristics we should look out for?
Yes. So like I mentioned, they are unauthorized. They just give you loan. You think it's free. You think it's easy. Because trust me, if you're going to the bank to get a loan, or if you're going to an authorized money lender to get a loan, they take you through processes. Then you have to have a credit score. They check your credit score. Are you credit worthy to get this loan? But for these unauthorized loan sharks, or for loan sharks in general, they don't care. They don't go through all that because they want to trap you into paying.
They
want to trap you into paying. And then the thing is, they negotiate with you. They tell you if you can't pay now, the more you delay your payment, the more your interest keeps growing as the day goes by. So it's a trap. You can't get out of it. So that's how you know, and that's the characteristics of loan sharks.
And the way you've said it, a trap, I feel as though the person is just in a position where they are unable to move from. But how are there ways to break free from the shackles of loan sharks? How can we break free, for the benefit of our viewers who are watching and wondering, okay, I am already in this situation. How then can I get out of it?
Okay, so the first thing to do, okay, so now the issue with getting into this bad debt, because it's a bad debt to begin with, the issue with getting into this bad debt is once you get from one loan app, it's easy money, you're accessing it easily. Sometimes they even send you a message to tell you that you can access this. Once you get into that trap, you're not able to pay. You look for the next loan app to borrow monies from. And then it keeps going on and on. You're robbing Paul to pay Peter, and then you keep going on and on. So the first thing to do is to map out your loans, map out the monies you're owing. That's the first thing you do. Some of them don't even know how much they're owing because they collected from so many places. So the first thing, sit down with yourself, map out. And then before you even go into that, know your financial standpoint. Can I take this loan? If I'm a worker, when are they paying me? And then, sometimes in Nigeria, there's the Nigerian factor where you don't get paid on the set date. So you give allowance. You know that, okay, this is how much I'm being paid. This is when I'm being paid. That's the first thing. Know your financial situation. Know your financial strength. Can I take this loan? If you can't, just let it go. But if you found yourself in it, sit down with yourself, calculate how much am I owing. Then you start paying off the high interest. You can start off by paying the high interest debt first. You can start off by doing that, or you negotiate. Most times they're open to negotiations. You negotiate with them. Okay, my loan is let's say 50,000, but I have 5,000 to pay now. Give me so and so time to pay up. Most times they agree. I've seen it. I've had people come to me and they're like, you know, the shame. I don't want my husband to know. Mostly women. I don't want my husband to know. I don't want this to happen. I'm afraid. I'm panicking. I'm like, calm down. Calm down. First, how much are you owing? Second, call them. Strike a deal with them. Negotiate with them. This is how much I'm going to be able to pay. After doing that, that's where financial education comes in, financial literacy. Once you're literate, once you know what to do, that's why we teach what we teach, financial literacy. Once you have financial literacy, you know that these are the kind of loans I should avoid. And then that's where budgeting comes in. That's where having an emergency fund comes in. So that when those emergencies come, you're not tempted to borrow from a loan shark that will now end up embarrassing you. So if you have an emergency fund, you can always draw up from your pool of emergency fund to meet your needs. The truth is, life is full of unexpected situations and all that. So why not prepare for it? Why wait for it to happen to you? Yes, I know that is life and all that, but you can always plan. You can always prepare ahead of time. So those are the things you can do. Budget. Learn how to budget. Learn how to save. Cultivate the habit of budgeting and saving. And then most times when we talk of budget, people think it's a daunting thing.
I was going to go there. You know, once people think of budget, they think of an Excel spreadsheet and so much figures going on.
So that's the personal finance is personal. It's you. It's all about you. It's all about your economy. It's all about how much do I earn. You sit down with yourself. If you have a spouse, you guys sit down together. How much are we earning? You divide 50. So the rule of budgeting is very easy. I don't know. It's easy. 50% should go into your needs. Okay, we have kids, we have school fees, we have this, we have that. 50% should go into that. Transportation, 50% should go into that. 30% to your wants. And 20%, that's where you keep all the emergency fund, the savings, Once you're able to just do that every month, once you get paid, once you have an income, you channel it into those different segments or buckets. You put them in those buckets and you realize that you're not in the trap of borrowing all the time, looking for money from this person and that person. So that's how you save yourself. The stress. Do you know that's another thing? When you budget, you save yourself the stress, the embarrassment that comes with borrowing and then you're running everywhere. Once you can do that, then live below your means. Because once you are able to budget, you know that, okay, this is what I can live. This is my range. This is how I can live. This is the limit to my income, and this is how I should live my life. So that's one way you can do that.
Okay, let us talk now about legal backing, because I've seen a situation where a person was a victim of loan sharking as well, and these people went as far as contacting the entire contact on their phone book, reaching out and sending threatening messages to people. So I'm wondering, is there any form of regulatory framework to protect the consumer, or to basically just combat loan sharking? Is there any legal backing?
Yes, there is. So in 2002, like you mentioned in your opening, the federal government, there was a body regulated. It was formed, and then one of the bodies is FC, the Federal Consumer Protection Commission. Yes, so one of it, even the police and even the EFCC are part of those regulatory bodies. So those are bodies that can help you. But another thing is, people don't know that you can reach out to them. They have their numbers, they have their contacts. You can always reach out to them. If you don't know where to get it, Google search. You can Google search. Once they begin to attack you, report them. Report them to those regulatory bodies, and you're good. You're good. And then another thing they've tried to do is to remove those loan apps from Play stores. But you know, these people are tech guys. They know how to cut corners, they know how to, so they still do it. But the federal regulatory body has been of great help. So you can always report to them.
Okay.
Yes.
And I am also wondering what alternative sources that people can reach out to, you know, obviously not anything illegal, but a place where they can reach out to for monies to take loans where the need comes up, aside from you know, loan apps and the official, maybe our banks, aside from the banks now. What other places can Nigerians reach out for loans?
Okay, that's very good. Because, so even when people want to go into business, they usually would go to the loan sharks first to start up a business. Like I said, it's easy money. You can just easily get it without going to the bank and they're asking you for collateral, asking you for documents and all that. The processes are long. But one first way you can do that is through family and friends.
As easy as that, you know?
Yes, through family and friends. I'm sure you would definitely have someone on your contact who is ready to help you. You know, the worst thing that can happen to you is just the worst that can happen, not the worst thing that can happen to you. The worst that can happen is to get a no, I can't help you at this moment. But at least you've asked. And if you never ask, you won't know where you will get your help from. So the first place is from family and friends. Ask your family, ask your friends. Sometimes, like I said, I had a client who said she wanted to start up a business and she borrowed from the loan shark, from one of the loan apps, and then it became a problem because she had to be borrowing from others. If she had asked a family member, because at the end of the day, that's what she did. She now had to go back to family members to ask them for monies, not telling them that I want to pay my back, you get, but she got the monies and she was able to clear off her debt. So no, why not start from there? Ask your family and friends. The next step or the next place you can go to is peer-to-peer lending. So those are platforms that allow you, they connect you, borrower, investor, they connect you, you can get monies and then at a certain reasonable interest rate. And that's what my company does. So we do that, we connect the borrower to the investor. Reasonable rates, and nobody, but definitely we check your credit score, check the credit score. If there's need for collateral, you bring your collateral. Everything is duly regulated, everything is duly documented. And because of that documentation, if any party goes out of breaches the rule of the contract, you can always tender it in court. You can bring in the legal force to help you. So those are the advantages. So like I said, you can go to family and friends, you can do the peer-to-peer lending.
Yeah. Okay, just in 1 minute now, because our time is far gone, we'd just like you to give us your top 2 financial literacy advice. We understand, like I said before, Nigeria is currently, not at the best place. The cost of living is high and all of that. So what would that be to our viewers who are wondering top 2 financial advice?
Okay, so my top 2 financial advice to Nigerians at this point in Nigeria is to always look for how to earn more. Like I always say, is my favorite quote. There is a limit to how much you can save, you can invest, but there's no limit to how much you can earn. Thank God for digitalization. You can be in the comfort of your home and you're making money. You can decide to run errands for people. You can decide to manage communities for people. You can decide to do affiliate marketing. You can decide to, the possibility is endless. Graphic design, the possibility is endless. The most important thing is to have an open mind. That's another thing. You have to think positively, not minding what you're seeing. You have to affirm yourself that yes, though the economy is going the way it's going, but still there are people who are making money in Nigeria. So my advice is to look for avenues to earn more. You can teach from what you already know. It's endless. The possibility is endless.
Indeed, the possibility is endless. In the words of my guest, Sarah Amana, who is a financial expert, and she has spoken insightfully on how we can tackle the menace of loan sharking. Thank you again for all you've said, very insightful.
Thank you.
This is where we say our goodbyes on today's edition of the program Business Daily, coming to you on Trust TV. Join the conversation on social media and let us hear your thoughts. Have you been a victim of loan sharking, and how were you able to, get out of that? My name is Chiamaka Nendu. Thank you for watching, and bye for now.